This is the fan, and I'm joined by my guy, Bad Boy Beaman. How are you doing, Bad Boy Beaman?
I'm good, mate. I'm very good. I hope you're doing well yourself.
I'm well, man. I'm well. I'm just drinking my prime. You know what I mean? Um, Bad Boy, I've wanted to get you on for a long time now. Obviously, you've had one fight in the influencer scene.
Yeah, that's
Can you
right.
tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my vision was always to get involved with the Misfits scene. So I done what I could to get my name out there, and I got asked by a small promotion called SCB at the time, and they asked me to fight. They asked me to headline their event. Now, obviously, it was for smaller creators, so I was sort of, I'm not sure about it. I took the fight in the end because they offered me, you know, to pay me, offered me a little bit of money, said they paid the cost of travel expenses and whatnot. But that all fell through anyway. I didn't actually get paid a penny, but that's besides the point. The guy I shared the ring with was actually meant to be one of Tempo Art's teammates, someone he trains with, who is Ruben Hobbs. That's who I was meant to
Okay.
be fighting. He had
Yeah.
medical issues, so I ended up coming up against a guy called JST. Very humble, nice guy. And to be honest, I was a little bit gutted that I had to share the ring with him because he was just such a nice guy. He was on almost like a weight loss journey. So played a little bit of pitter patter through the early rounds. And then in the third round, thought, right, this is it. I'm going for the knockout and put him asleep.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've been watching your fight. I've been there from the beginning, but it's interesting because you mentioned one of Tempo Art's sparring partners. Now we're not gonna go to Ruben, we're gonna go to Gary Olive, right? There's been a bit of back and forth on Twitter. Okay, like, come on, bro. You guys just need to get a room, man. You guys just kiss and make
Well,
up, no?
there's certain things going on in the background I can't disclose at the moment.
Yeah,
When them things happen, it'll all make sense. Me and Gary have buried the hatchet. We're on speaking terms now. Everything's
yeah,
civil. We're not friends, but we're civil. Um, we did have a back and forth. It didn't start off with anything like that. I called out Tempo Arts for a fight. He replied saying I'm not going to fight you. Basically, ducked. Well, in my opinion, he ducked me. Gary doesn't seem to think so. But he basically ducked me based on experience because a lot of people are saying you've had 50 plus amateur fights and so on. So obviously Tempo had his reasons to not fight me at that time. But I called him out on it, but then that sort of died down. I offered my sparring services to Tempo Arts in his build up to the fight against Chase Moore for the heavyweight title. And I obviously spoke directly to Gary about that. Gary accepted. And then about 9 hours later, message back saying, sorry, I forgot I was going to France on Friday, so not going to be able to do it. I think it was actually you in a Twitter space who asked me what went on or if I actually managed to spar Tempo. And it felt like a bit shady. I've explained to Gary why I felt like it was a bit shady. It was because his reason didn't
yeah.
like meet the criteria of the original message. So he understands why I had my little view on that now. But that just sent a whole thing spiraling out of control with me and Gary. And in the end, I'm posting pictures of him. I reacted to a video of him on my boxing channel, Bad Boy Boxing. Don't forget to subscribe. And
Not subscribe.
but
Bye,
no,
guy.
so after I reacted to his video, I thought that was just absolute banter, bit hilarious. But Gary ended up sending me a little message, a little bit of a threat, and then which wasn't related to boxing. And
Yeah.
then obviously he started sharing images of me being knocked out in a fight that I had about 11 or 12 years ago. I can't remember. By the way, I got back up off that knockdown after about 6 seconds. The ref did call a fight, but I still got back up, and that's what truly counts. But no, me and Gary have sorted it all. We've had our back and forth. To be honest, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great, and I thought that it was just banter until I got that message off Gary. So we've buried the hatchet now, anyway. And moving forward, I've put my sparring services back on the table for Gary, for Tempo Art. If Gary needs anybody to come down and cause Tempo a little bit of problem in sparring, and he said that's fine. He'll stay in touch.
Bad boy, I want to speak about the whole, oh, he's had 50 amateur fights. Now, from what I've heard, is that you've had a 10-year break. Okay. So what can you tell us about your amateur experience? Is it really 50 amateur fights? Like, What's the deal
No,
with that?
no, 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 no. So my amateur experience, right? Brace yourself, right? I
Yeah,
have got zero amateur experience, right? I've never boxed in
right.
the amateurs whatsoever, not even as a schoolboy, not as an adult, never had any amateur experience. I've had some white collar boxing experience. It was more unlicensed boxing rather than like, when you see the white collar shows where they wear head guards and
Mm,
16-ounce gloves. It wasn't any of that. I was fighting pro rules, 10-ounce gloves, no head guards, and majority of my fights were 3-minute rounds. I didn't have 55 or 54 fights, as I said. I was just trying to intimidate JST in the build up to
yeah,
the fight. Um, couldn't tell you how many I did have, but I know that I lost quite a fair amount of them. I won quite a
yeah,
few of them by knockout. But the white collar business is shady as hell. If you can sell 100 tickets, you're getting the win every time. If you can't sell many tickets, you're not getting the win. If you're getting paid to come down to a different area to fight, you're not getting the win. So I don't really class that as any sort of level of experience for me. I
yeah,
dabbled in it for a bit. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, made a little bit of money out of it, but nothing major, enough to go out on a night out and party with the money after the fight. But that was about it. I was about 19 years old at the time. Between 19 and 20, I took a couple of white collar fights. But yeah, since then, I've not really done anything. I've still used the boxing gym for a way to, just sort of de-stress and maybe,
yeah,
get a bit of weight off. But I've
yeah,
not really been learning much in the process until like the last year. Since I took that fight against JST, that's when I really started putting the work in. So my
yeah.
experience isn't as great as what other people may think.
Bad Boy, talk to me, right? We just witnessed on the Prime card, we witnessed the heavyweight title fight between Chase Damore and Tempo Arts. Now, a lot of people felt as if Chase Damore was robbed, including Chase himself, right? I personally feel like it was 3 rounds to one in Chase's favor. In Chase's favor. Now, what did you make of that fight?
I feel like you're trying to get me and Gary to go, toe to toe here.
Uh, 100%.
Let's go, Gary. No, on a serious note, I feel Chase won that fight, and bear in mind, in the build up to that fight, I'm backing Tempo Art. I want Tempo Arts to win. I'd
Yeah,
had a little bit of banter, a little bit of a back and forth with Chase Damore online. So like I'm thinking Tempo's probably one of the biggest threats in the heavyweight division at the
yeah,
moment. So in my mind, I'm thinking there's no way Chase Damore beats him. I'm watching that fight. I'm rooting for Tempo Arts. And after I think it was the first round for me where I think they both sort of wobbled each other, and I was just like, wow, Chase has got some power in these shots.
yeah,
And then from then on, I'm talking to my boxing coach on the phone, like voice notes back and forth with my coach, and my coach is saying, "Hey, Chase is winning this," and I said, "I think he is, yeah." And
yeah,
then right at the end, I was like, I can't believe he won. Like I was like, how the hell has Chase Demore just beat Tempo Arts?
yeah.
Um, and then Tempo got his arm raised, and I was like, what? Like I was really shocked at the decision, man.
I must say, I think Chase Damore has to be one of the most unluckiest fighters, right? His first fight, right, against Josh Bruckner. I mean, we all saw what happened. It was a tough fight for him. His second fight, which was against Stevie Knights, we all saw the incident that happened after the fight. So he was then 0-2, right? And then he took the 24-hour notice fight against Alan Belcher, right? Lost the fight, got disqualified. He's 0-3 now. And then the Tempo Arts thing, the Tempo Arts fight, he's now 0-4. So I think when it comes to influence of boxing, I just feel for the guy, man, because skill wise, I don't think he's really that bad. Honestly, I don't think he's that bad.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? We've chased them all. And don't get me wrong, his performance against Tempo Art was fantastic compared to his previous three fights. But the mistakes that were made in his previous three fights were mistakes that he could well and truly have made not happen. So taking sips of water midway through a round, say, hi, coach, yeah. Like, you don't do it. You don't take sips
Yeah,
of water midway through a round, and you also don't punch people when they're on the canvas. So, I like Chase. I've learned to like him. I think I've realised what type of character he is now, and I can see that he's willing to learn as well in the sport. And he definitely outperformed his previous three performances in that fight against Tempo. But I mean, his record of 0-3 was deserved. First and foremost because sipping water, like you don't drink water midway through a round. That's a
Yeah.
disqualification. You
I
know what I
think he
mean?
would have lost regardless, you know? Like it's fucking Alan
Yeah,
Belcher, you
nah,
know?
yeah. Well,
It's
nah,
Alan
the
Belcher.
Belcher
Yeah.
fight, like, yeah, he was, and you could see the movement from Belcher. He was like ducking
Yeah.
and weaving and getting involved, like, and it
Yeah.
almost felt like he was sort of taking it easy. But
Yeah.
Chase's own fitness let him down there as well massively. But that's ring
Yeah.
craft, ring experience, so that'll come over time. And I feel like this is just the start for Chase, definitely.
November 17th, Misfits 11. We got their Misfits heavyweight eliminator. Arms versus Minicon 2. The rematch that
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
all been waiting for. What do you make of this fight?
yeah. Personally, I think I'm gonna be outspoken here. I think Arms is a steadhead, right? You can't
Yeah.
get to that shape about it. So I'm hoping Minicon beats like the living hell out of
Oh,
him.
he trains with KSI, bro. He trains with KSI. There's no, come on, bro.
Who trains with KSI Arms?
Arms, yeah. He trains with
Well, listen,
KSI.
mate, I'm not here to fall out with you, but let me tell you something, lad. Like, look at this. Oh, natural, yeah. Right? Look at, put him away, lad. You've just put me to shame. But at the end of the
Haha.
day, right, you only get a certain physique naturally. But that's just my thoughts on the matter. I do think Arms will gas easily in later rounds because of the size of him anyway. Whether it's natural
Yeah,
or not natural, he's gonna gas because
yeah,
carrying that much muscle mass, like, it requires more oxygen. So
yeah,
when you look at the likes of, like, let's talk about Master Uguay, he's got a bit of chub on him, he's a bit fat, on top of what you can see underneath is quite a muscular structure. So Master Uguay would probably last longer, although he didn't against Arms, but like,
yeah.
with the right amount of experience, he would last longer and do more rounds than Arms would be able to. I don't think Arms lasts very long. And if he does and he manages to scrape through the fight, I don't think he's going to win. I think he'll lose on points if he can't get the knockout.
My thing is that I can see where people are coming from when they're predicting the Arms knockout. My thing is Minicon is a big guy, bro. He's a big muscular guy himself. You know, he's proved to have a chin, right? He's got a decent gas tank for a heavyweight. He's got a very good gas tank. You know, you saw the Jake the Viking fight in Misfits '06, right? He took so many hits, never went down once. You know, the first Minicon fight, he took hits, never went down. So for me, I can see Minicon getting it by decision. I really can. Which, you know, the first fight, let's be honest, bro, if he was robbed. I don't know if you've seen the first fight, but it was on Showstar.
Yeah, yeah, I've
He,
seen
he
the
he was robbed in
highlights.
that fight. Yeah. So, you know, it'll be good to see Minicon back in the ring. Um, the last time we saw him was, of course, April. Talk to me about the main event, Jarvis versus B Dave. Now, B Dave is actually,
I like B
I'm
Dave.
I'm surprised because I thought like a lot of people would have him like there's no way he can win, but there's a few people that are actually going for B Dave.
So obviously, if you look at like Jarvis and where he's training and stuff, he's training with Mayweather. He's training in the Mayweather gym. At least some of his footage is recorded there. I mean, you can't trust that guy. This guy's a cheater. He was cheating in Fortnite. He got well and truly exposed. He cried to all of his fans,
Uh,
Jarvis, you're nothing but a name button cheater. I hate people like you. And I hope B Dave absolutely destroys you. So I'm rooting for B Dave just because Jarvis is a hacker.
what are you saying, Bad Boy? Bad Boy versus Jarvis, yeah?
I mean, listen, I will never ever be able to get down to that weight. But if it was to happen, if he could come up to heavyweight, I'd splat him in round one. No
Hey
aimbot
man.
needed.
So for the people that maybe don't know about this, Bad Boy has been looking for a fight. He's called out everyone, man. Everyone. Now, Bad Boy, talk to us through the people that you've called out because I see it every single day on Twitter. You're calling out this person's uncle, this person's dad. Like, when are you gonna get a fight, bro? When are you gonna get a fight?
Well, things are in the pipeline anyway. Fight will be coming very soon. I've been calling people out, man, in the Call of Duty community, especially. Keemstar, who I spoke to, said that made a lot of sense. He contacted me originally, Keemstar, saying we've got a fight for you. It was meant to be against Bobby Poff, who's like 6'6", big giant man, like 255 pounds, 6'6" guy. He contacted Keemstar, said, I want to fight Bad Boy Beaman on one of these shows, right? So Keemstar set it up. Then Bobby Puff pulled out. It was like the same day I put out a video hitting the pads. About a couple of hours later, Bobby Puff pulls out. I get a message off Keemstar saying fight off. So I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll find someone else, you know. Faye Santana, who is like part of the Nuke squad. You know, he lives in a house with like Faye swag and stuff like that. And I said to Santana, like, let's get it on and stuff. And he was just like, as long as it's in LA, I'll fight you. So we put a limitation there. So that sort of went down the drain. Man, I could sit here naming them all day. So there was like, what's his name now? One of the guys' dads as well got involved, man. I forgot his name. Hisoka. So
Yeah,
Hisoka, like he was like ranked number 1, but he's clearly cheating, you know. And then I called him out for the fight. I was like, his dad basically on one of his streams just tensing his arm.
yeah.
His dad, Hisoka's a grown man, 23 years old, and his own dad was there trying to defend him on stream, saying that he'd do me with his 23-inch guns tensing his arm. So I said, listen, Ahsoka, I'll do you and your dad on the same night. Never heard anything back off that. Then we had Magnificent, who again was permanently banned in Call of Duty Warzone back in September 28th, 2020. And I exposed him, done a video on him, and I've stayed on his tail ever since because he still carried on streaming. I called him out for a fight after he once said live on stream that he would have a field day with me, that he would fold me up, basically saying he would beat me in a fight. So I called him out, and then he basically said, you know, as long as the money's right. So as soon as somebody says that, like Keemstar's not interested in even looking at that fight because when they're talking about money, are they really
Yeah,
interested in actually
yeah,
getting involved? So yeah, that fight fell through as well. Then we've you know, called people out like Chase the Moore, I've called people out like Tempo Watts, Master Uguay as well. I've called him out. I've called Arms out. I've called pretty much all the heavyweights out. My time will come, and
yeah.
hopefully sooner rather than later. But everyone's pretty much, you know, gone very quiet after being called out by me.
Bad boy. Imagine we get a Misfits card in Liverpool, headlined by Darren Till versus Anthony Taylor. On the co-main, we have Bad Boy Beaman. Who would you rather? Who is the person you want to fight? Right? Like, forget if they've declined the offer. Who is that one person you want? That
Um,
number one. Make this a call out because I need views actually. So make this.
yeah.
So
So I think if that was to happen and we were able to get a co-main event, I think the fight to make I'm at the moment, this moment in time, I'll say Tempo Watts. The reason for that is because he holds the title at this moment. Whether that's still the case at the time, I don't know. But I think a fight between me and Tempo Watts would be a great fight. Both big punches, and you know, we've both got similar physiques as well and similar
yeah,
styles. So I would definitely fight Tempo Watts, I think, over anybody else at the moment. And if he declined, then I would go for Chase them more.
right. So Bad Boy, if you had one message for Tempo, let's just say he's watching this. Floor is yours, my guy.
Don't hurt me. I'm joking. I'm joking. So I'd say this. Listen, Tempo, you're not going to make it past round 1. I've already told you, coach, I'm going to leave a path of destruction on the way to you. And when that time comes, you're going to go in
Let's
an ambulance as
go.
well.
Hey, well, you already know, my
Yes!
guy.
Yes! Yes!
Well, Bad Boy,
do
it's been a
you want to put my
pleasure.
boxing gloves on and do some fucking shadow boxing? You
Bro, let's see it, my guy. Let's see. You got a jab. Let's see your jab.
want to see me jab?
Yeah, let's go.
It's that fast, the camera can't even pick it
Bro,
up,
that's
man.
what I'm
Look.
saying.
It's
Bro,
hard
I
sitting
learned from
down throwing
KSI. I
punches.
learned from KSI. 100%. Well, Bad Boy, it's been a pleasure having you on, bro. Thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna leave his links in the description. Please follow Bad Boy Beaman. And you know what? Tweet Mams, tweet Misfits. We need to see him on a card, guys. Come on. Hashtag get Bad Boy on a card.
Appreciate
Take care,
that, my
bro.
guy.
Thank you, my guy. Love.
Nice. See you later, man.
See you later.